guys, heading down the road here and about to head over to the shop, and then we're going to open up the box from Poppy's Patina and check out doing a clear coat on this thing, kind of preserve the patina on here. And I went for the gloss patina. I think the gloss patina looks really cool. Some people hate it, but I think it's pretty sweet to see the glossy rust, which is kind of weird when you see it, but it's got a neat look to it. There's a couple different ways to achieve it, but this looks like the most permanent solution where you're not reapplying like linseed oil and stuff like that. And it looks like a really good way to do it and preserve what you've got, being that this is, you know, urethane clear coat with a UV protectant and all that good stuff. So it'd be pretty awesome. So we'll have to check it out. All right, guys, here is the complete clear coat kit. This is for the wipe on gloss finish. This is the full kit. Comes with a clear catalyst and wax and grease remover, rags, application pads. You've got some scrubbing pads. It's like the Scotch-Brite pads. And they sent me some sweet stickers and some other good stuff. The directions here, the first thing we do is clean the surface, get everything cleaned up. We want to get off all the wax and grease we can to begin with, especially if there's a lot of heavy stuff. Any kind of, dirt, grit, rust that's flaking off, all that stuff has to be gone. Otherwise, it's just going to flake off later, which you don't want. And you're going to accomplish that by scrubbing it with this. So essentially, I'm going to clean the whole car, and I'm just going to use some. It's better to use their pre-cleaner, we don't have any, so I'm just going to use some simple green or something like that, just to strip the oil and stuff like that, and then give it a good scrubbing with this. And then they say they completely recommend it, and I will too. It's not required to use the clear catalyst. I imagine this clear coat would take a little bit longer to dry without the catalyst in there. But to be honest with you, anything dealing with painting or clear coating, anything, you always want to mix some kind of catalyst in there with it. That's gonna make it dry harder and quicker. So it'll be much stronger. So I agree with them, do that. So mix that, and it says here they mix it at a ratio of 8:1, so 8 parts clear coat, 1 part catalyst. It's got a 2-hour pot life, which means it'll sit there in the pot for 2 hours at 77 degrees. If it's hotter than that, it'll go quicker. If it's colder than that, then it'll take a little bit longer. It's pretty warm today, so that means you just got to work pretty quickly. Only mix up a little bit at a time, using what you need. You know, don't just do the whole can and expect to get it all done real quick. So then we're going to use the wipe on clear coat, applicator pads, and a paint tray for large areas. For small and hard to get to areas, one of the recycled knit rags, which is right there. There's a whole bunch of those. Do not apply in direct sunlight. We're going to do it here in the shop. So there you go. You can go back and scuff the area, apply more if you need to, if you miss a spot, stuff like that. 20-30 minutes dry to the touch, 24 hours for full cure, and then you can use acetone or something like that to clean it off of areas that you don't want it on. And obviously it is combustible. You don't want to be lighting anything on fire, smoking cigarettes around or nothing like that. So it says this product may also be sprayed on with a spray gun here. It tells you 1.4 nozzle at 35 psi, so you could just spray this stuff down. But I think the neat part is that it's a wipe on clear coat. So I'm pretty excited to try it. And what we may do, we'll let this stuff, set up for a month or so. But we may actually apply our Avalon King ceramic coat on top of this, which will make it last even longer, which is really cool. So I'm excited to get started on this. All right, guys, we got the bug out here at the shop. We're gonna go through and start scrubbing it and cleaning it. Stuff they're talking about is stuff like this. You see some of that stuff's just flaking right off there. So this is a really rough area, right? You wanna scrub all this down, stuff like this. All that stuff needs to be gotten off there. And then what's left will essentially be locked in time under there, which is kind of cool. This thing's got such a great patina on it that's mostly natural. I mean, they've added some other stuff here, just touching stuff up and stuff over the years. Just adds a little more character to it. The roof's got great patina down through the back, but a little more of this will show because obviously we're gonna be scrubbing it, so it's gonna break it down a little bit more. It should be good. So, and like this dust and stuff caked up on here, you're trying to get all that stuff off of there before you start applying any clear coat to it. Being wipe on should be fairly easy. The chrome trim, I'm not going to worry about too much. We may tape off around the headlight bezels and maybe the door handles, but that's probably it. Around the rubber and stuff, I think we can work around that pretty easily. We'll try it, you know. So, but anyways, let's get started. All right, it's finished, it's coated. Just kidding, it's actually just soaking wet. But wetting it down does give you a good indication of what it'll look like when it is coated and glossy, because it kind of fills in all that area, but you can see it starting to dry out, turn flat again. So we're gonna blow it all off with the hose here and knock as much water as we can off. Then we're gonna park it out there in the sun, and then we'll start using the wax and grease remover, wipe it down and everything. So, try that next. All right, guys, got the bug inside now. You don't want to do this in direct sunlight, but the first thing we got to do is wax and grease remover here. So that'll pull off any of the oils or waxes or grease or anything like that in there, and there's not really hardly anything on this thing. But places that we've touched and stuff like that, it's just going to help it adhere better. So as you can tell, that gray Scotch Brite pad, I actually polished it up just a little bit where it was real flat. It's kind of funny. All right, guys, the whole car is wiped down. Went in and took off the headlight trim and did get the door handles taped up. So that's about the only thing I'm worried about on here. The other trim and stuff, I'm just gonna coat it. I think it'll be fine. And then like the turnstiles, I can wipe around that. It's the best part about doing a wipe on and clear coat is you can be as easy as you want and not spray anything. So, but this is it. Try this next. I'm gonna mix it up 8-to-1 with the catalyst, see what happens. All right, guys, so we got a mixing cup here, and this is 8-to-1-to-1. We're only doing 8-to-1, so we'll bring the first one up there, and that's a little under 4 ounces. And then we'll bring the next line, which is your 8-to-1. That's the one we're bringing up just a tiny little bit to the next one, and that'll be right at 4 ounces with the catalyst. So we're gonna do that next. All right, guys, so this is it. It's just a completely clear solution here, and it does smell pretty strong. You really should have on a gas mask and full suit for sure if you're spraying it. Wiping it on, you definitely want to have gloves on. You don't want to get clear coat on you. So I'm just going to dip the applicator in here and just see how it works. Oh man, it goes on smooth. Look at that. Let's keep it wet. It actually goes a pretty long way. I only put a little bit in this sponge applicator thing, and it's just wiping and wiping. And then if you get some in places you don't want it, you can just use some acetone, something like that, and get it off there before it completely sets up. You can pretty much just wipe it back off. So. So we figured out the nitrile style gloves. it started eating them up and ripped a hole through my other hand. So switched over to Daddy. He's got some chemical gloves on here, and seems to be doing pretty good. You can obviously see, you know, the parts that we've got covered pretty good, already getting pretty shiny. So that's pretty neat. All right, guys, there it is. It looks a lot shinier, obviously, a lot glossier. And one of the things that we noticed is when you're applying it, we were trying to do it kind of save as much as we could, kind of do it as thin as we could. Realize that's not the best idea. Best idea is to take a pretty good bit in the applicator and kind of make a big nice run, and then start working in all of that extra that you've just put on there. And you're kind of chasing runs, but that seems to be the best way to do it, is just lay it on pretty thick and then just start chasing those runs, and then it comes out fairly slick. And it's not perfect, but I mean, it's a rat rod, so I mean, how perfect does it need to be? But it looks pretty dang good. And we went back and had some lunch, actually, and we came back, and even though it had dried, we were able to get it real wet and just kind of literally mop that stuff on and just kind of keep working it around. And it looks pretty good. I think that after this, we can, you know, give this probably a month or so, and then wax it, or like I said, do the ceramic coating on top of this. That'll make it slicker and deeper either way you choose, and then protect this coating, which is already doing a great job protecting the other paint and other patina from getting any worse. Keeps the oxidation out of it and all that stuff. I think this looks pretty killer. Pretty happy with it. All right, guys, y'all know I like stickers. Added some on here, another Poppy's Patina one then there. Got one there. That's another Poppy's Patina one. Give them some love up here. Added some other cool stickers on there. And then another one right there. It's the same as the other side, so pretty sweet. We're pretty much done. Got the headlight trim rings back on there. Pretty dang good. Let's get out in the sun.
Time to get out and play. AMSOIL delivers the ultimate protection for your vehicles and equipment. Fast, free shipping right to your door. Spend $100 and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.